Working every day was draining my energy so much that my life was ruined. These 3 juices gave me my life back. I'm able to get in the best gym sessions, really focused study sessions, and it just gives me a hop in my step when I wake up in the morning. It just gives me the tools to take the day on. It's also when I realized that I was spending so much money on these shop bought juices, and a lot of them don't really have the nutrients that you would think they do. I would also just be buying random snacks at the shop, stuff that don't even give me energy, don't get me right, just be spending random money, nothing really beats a simple homemade juice. Can't get better than that. Now, I'm not gonna stand here and lie. I might take a midday nap here and there, but I've definitely noticed a difference after juicing, that I don't really have to rely on a coffee so much. I have that natural energy going from the juicing, so definitely being a noticeable boost. Yeah man, I'm very thankful for it. Once I started making these 3 juices, everything changed. So today, I'll be breaking down each juice, how I make them, and their benefits. No fancy ingredients, just simple, real food that gets the job done. And by the end of the video, I'll let you know which one I'll go for if I could only pick one. Let's get into it. Before I got into juicing, I definitely did take my health seriously, but I always found it difficult to, maintain a healthy lifestyle. It's not the easiest. It'll be a thing where I'd wake up with bags of energy, then quite early on, my battery would just die. I'd be left tired and, unproductive, and that's not really how I wanted to continue. I wanted to make a change. And then on others, I would just never get started. I'm feeling tired, sluggish, all of the above. When you've got goals, but you don't have the energy to actually do them, it's a weird feeling. You might feel like you lack motivation, but whole time your body just doesn't have the nutrients to give you the energy that you need. And to be completely honest, while my eating habits aren't bad, they aren't exactly the best either. I know I don't eat nearly enough vegetables with my meals, but between my day job, constantly going to the gym, trying to build this YouTube channel and other video projects, and just life in general, I don't always have the time to cook every day and get the nutrients I need from those veggies. I had to find something that I can have on a go, but it doesn't leave me out missing anything. In fact, it gives me an extra boost. This led me to realizing, especially at the start, that you don't need to get your juices perfect. They don't need to have the perfect consistency or always blow your taste buds out the park. As long as you're making sure you get the right nutrients, as you go juice by juice, you end up tweaking the recipe a little bit to make the juice right for you. I've noticed that this is just more practical for me rather than trying to make it perfect every single time. And one thing I want to emphasize is that you don't need the top of the market juicer to start. I recently did a juice fast with my boy, which you can check out here, and he used a blender and he just had to strain it down after he started. You can find some cheap and affordable blenders and juicers out there. So, you just have to try and start with a small investment and work your way up from there. There's really no excuse. You can really start with the basics. It's about starting a journey and moving on, Try not to get stuck at the first step. And with just a small investment, we can start taking the first steps to improving our health and wellness for good. So I started simple. 3 different juices that all have different ingredients, but that give me all the necessary nutrients. I'll go ahead and rotate them throughout the week so, I keep the taste fresh, I get bored of the same thing very easily. But what I'm not gonna do is act like these 3 juices are gonna fix everything. You still gotta eat real food, train, and sleep right. But these, they'll definitely fill in the gaps. And if you're someone who's stuck in the same cycle of being tired, inconsistent, and knowing that you should eat better, but you're not sure where to start, this is definitely a great entry point, man. Let's get into it and break down each one. First up, we got the green reset juice, man. This is the first one I made, and you definitely can't go wrong with this. You got every single nutrient that you need with the variety of ingredients, and taste-wise, it's definitely top tier. It's almost impossible to go wrong with this one. In there, we've got 1 cucumber, 1 bag of kale, 1 lime, a pineapple, a small piece of ginger, 4 apples, half a bag of spinach, and 2 ribs of celery. Don't worry, all of the ingredients will be listed below, and I have an e-guide coming out, so be sure to check that out. We can get some recipe tips and more. I try not to overcomplicate the prep. It's the longest part, but once this is done, the rest is so easy. You just rinse everything, chop everything down. They don't have to be cut up finely to save yourself some time, and you just throw it in the juicer. I put the leafy greens at the bottom, and then the rest can go in as you wish. The cucumber and celery make the drink extremely hydrating, and the apples add a bit of sweetness so it doesn't taste like you're just drinking grass. I'm not lying when I say it actually tastes really good. And the ginger gives you that little kick whilst not being overpowering. Everything combined works really well. Spinach has mineral salts that help your body actually absorb everything. So you're not just drinking the juice and letting it all back out. Your body's actually using it. I like to drink this in the morning, especially if I've had a heavy meal or didn't get much sleep. It definitely gives me that needed energy boost. It's light, and it gives me energy without overly boosting me up so much that I end up crashing in the afternoon, It's a steady flow of energy, and it definitely gets me right. Next, we got the Amber Cleanse. This is my immune system booster. In there, we got 4 carrots, half a pineapple, another small thumb-sized piece of ginger, a thumb-sized piece of turmeric root or half a teaspoon of turmeric root powder, and 1 orange. When I'm prepping my ingredients, I don't actually peel my carrots. the skin has fiber, and the juice is gonna separate what it needs anyway. What you wanna do is just chop the tops and bottoms off and you're good to go. And after you finish washing all of your ingredients, we're good to start. Carrots are loaded with beta carotene, which are really good for your skin and your eye health. And the ginger, man, that's a real superfood. It's anti-inflammatory and it's got so many benefits. And a slight warning, if you don't already know, ginger can be a little bit spicy. I would say that you can adjust it to your liking, but the amount I put in the recipe, it doesn't make it overpowering, but it just gives it that slight kick that it needs. If you're fighting off a cold or feeling a bit run down, this is definitely the juice for you. I drink it when I need a boost and it definitely does what it needs to do. The orange and a pineapple definitely balance the juice out, so this one tastes great as well. Real talk, ever since I added this one to the collection, I don't get ill anymore. And I think part of that is down to this juice. I'm not gonna stop making it, and I think you guys should definitely start. And last, but definitely not least, we've got the Red Revive. I recently added this one to my arsenal as well, and I'm definitely happy that I did. In this one, we've got 2 beetroots, 4 carrots, 4 red apples, another small piece of ginger, and half a lemon. Beetroots are amazing because they help with your blood flow. They have these nitrates which your body converts to nitric oxide, which basically helps your blood vessels relax and carry oxygen better. And what this means is better workouts, better endurance, and just better blood flow in general. As someone who doesn't have great blood circulation, my hands do get cold very quickly, I've definitely seen an improvement since I started drinking this one. I started drinking this because, as I said, I wanted to improve my blood flow as my circulation wasn't the best. Over time, I did notice a difference, and it's something that I plan to continue doing. Now, this juice is slightly on the sweeter side, so what you want to do is add some coconut water to balance it out. I do this with all my juices, but you might find it a bit more with this one, so keep that in mind. So there you have it, those are the ingredients. Simple, effective, and all made using real food. And here are just a few practical tips that I would suggest. One is that once again, you do not need an expensive juicer. I started with a basic one. My boy that I did the fastest started with a basic one. Don't let the equipment stop you from getting started. 2 is that when you store them, you want to try and do it in a glass jar or a glass bottle. This helps to keep them fresh for longer, and it's something that I learned later in my journey, but it's something I really wish I knew at the start. Tip number 3, if it's overwhelming, just start with 1. You don't need to make all 3 at once if you've never juiced before. Pick the one that catches your interest the most and make that one and go from there. That's the best way to start. And look, I'm not gonna sit here and say juicing changed my life overnight. It's one of those small things that you have to just stack and keep building as you go. And the results are better energy, clearer skin, and you'll feel like you're taking care of yourself and actually thriving rather than just surviving. If you're stuck on where to start, you know that you want to eat better and lead a healthy lifestyle, this is where to start. This week, just start with 1. Pick 1 juice and take that leap. You will not regret it. And if you do make one of these, let me know down in the comments how it went. I am really interested to find out. If this helped you at all, please like and subscribe. I'm posting every week from things to do with wellness to just being a better person, trying to improve in every way. And that's it for this one. Please start your juicing journey. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.